What's up, guys? Jumping on in. Happy Tuesday. Rolling on IG. Looks good. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exhilarating episode of Know Your Pharmacist. I'm your host, Dr. Joaquin Acosta, the driving force behind PharmTrue, here to guide you on an educational odyssey where health meets innovation. Tonight, we're diving into a world where the latest in healthcare intersects with cutting-edge technology. We start by unraveling the complex web of influenza trends in New Mexico, offering insights that are crucial not just for our community, but for our understanding of global health dynamics. Our journey then takes an exciting turn into the realm of wearable technology. Imagine a world where your health is literally at your fingertips. We discuss the latest groundbreaking Samsung Galaxy Ring and Apple's latest innovation in the wearable tech space. It's time, Frodo Baggins chasing the ring, and here we are. New devices aren't just gadgets, guys. They're your new health partners. But wait, there's ever more. Who thought about playing video games could be boosting your brain health? We explore how immersing in the world of Super Mario 64 can enhance cognitive functions in adults. It's not just fun, it's science at its best. And in our Herbal Wellness Corner, sponsored by the remarkable High Horse Cannabis Company, we delve into the potential of CBG and CBGA in cannabis. These compounds are not just about wellness, they're about a revolution in healthcare. Our community spotlight shines on University Hills elementary literacy tonight, a testament to the power of education and community spirit happening tonight. And finally, in our Men's Health Minute, sponsored by the thrilling Vado Speedway Park, we discuss the cruciality of routine health checks. Gentlemen, take care of your health as a sign of strength, not of weakness. So sit back, relax, and let's embark on this journey of knowledge and empowerment together. Remember, each moment of learning today is a step towards a healthier tomorrow. Let's make this journey count. Buckle up, folks. It's going to be an incredible night. Nice and windy day to jump right on in. But very interesting. Doña County, guys, taking a deep look in the influenza report from the CDC, Department of Health. Guys, we were red here in influenza-like symptoms here over the last couple of weeks. Interesting enough, how did we manage that, right? But right down here in the very high region, guys, high and moderate high, our little area right over here, Doña County. But season ending week 7 of this year, February 17th. Interesting. A little bit of flu outbreak there, obviously, Bernalillo. But, that got passed around. Saw it plenty, between workplaces and things like that here over the last couple of weeks in February. Seen a lot of sinus infection diagnoses, so on and so forth. Obviously, it's just a very interesting little statistic there. Right now, New Mexico influenza-like illness. As of the week of February 17th, activity is currently 8.2% of patient visits statewide. It's above the New Mexico influenza-like illness baseline of 4.7. 4 to 5 New Mexico health regions are above the baseline, and New Mexico is above the baseline of the United States. ILI and flu lab tests remain elevated. Respiratory disease spread nationwide. So, respiratory disease, flu, whatever it might be, still going around actually right now, which is just, worth still passing out here in the late nasty season of February. Stay vigilant if you haven't already just brushed off a crumb, but the crumb is definitely out there. Influenza-like illness, respiratory symptoms, sinus infection. It's all kind of the same in this, reporting system here, I bet. And, where you have the lab tests actually administered, and past the flu test, sure, but influenza-like illness and the symptoms there of activities, that's definitely probably a widespread conjugate of all of the, respiratory stuff going around. And so Doña County, we are, right there in the mix of it all in the, pump part of our state, those traveling back and forth from Albuquerque, even El Paso, Otero County, I believe. Pretty red, moderate compared to everywhere else. Look, right there, the borderland. Look who got the grip. Brody. So that's us. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about my precious. Samsung's Galaxy Ring reaches new frontiers in wearable health tech. All coming out today with, guess what? Apple having to make an announcement right behind it about the wearable rings. One ring to rule them all, so they might say, and here we are. Apple's developing their ring. Samsung's got a ring. You got the VR goggles. You've got these rings that rule them all. So what's the deal with these rings? Samsung continuing to push boundaries of wearable technology with the unveiling of the Galaxy Ring at the 2024 Mobile World Conference. This cutting-edge smart ring promises to revolutionize how users track and understand their health. While initially teased at Samsung's Unpacked event, the recent demo offers a closer glimpse into the capabilities of the sleep wearable. Integrating AI and other technologies from the Samsung Galaxy portfolio, the Galaxy Ring aims to condense the company's accumulated innovation into a comfortable 24/7 wearing device. Though specific health metrics remain undisclosed, the Galaxy Ring is designed for continuous wear, promising insights into users' wellness day and night. Samsung Health, the new digital platform, will serve as the host for the collected data, offering users a comprehensive view of their health trends and patterns. As Samsung puts it, the Galaxy Ring offers a novel approach to everyday wellness, empowering users with greater understanding and insights into their health routine. With its impending release later this year, anticipation builds regarding its pricing and how it stacks up against competitors. Very interesting, right? So, of course, Apple coming to compete in the world of capitalism and technological evolution. No sooner has Samsung teased the details of its groundbreaking Galaxy Ring to huge excitement, but a report emerges that Apple doesn't want to be left out of the game. And they won't be. And when you guys think of Apple Watch and you think of the technology, I don't imagine it needing to be much different. Maybe wearing the ring on a finger, I'm sure the data point collection is probably going to be very similar. So other than there. Sounds exciting, cool stuff. I guess, what are the things in mind? How much are you gonna have to charge these devices? Will you be able to charge them less than your Apple Watch or whatever, right? Is it gonna be, advantageous to carry one of these rings versus, a smartwatch or whatever? And how so is that gonna be? Would you use it in a complementary fashion if you have a smartwatch? Which in my opinion is probably, closer to getting all these data points in the first place, where you're looking at Apple smartwatches and things like that already starting to figure out how to develop continuous glucose monitoring and getting closer to those points. I'm sure you put it on the ring finger or whatever, right? I mean, all cool though, for sure. One ring to rule them all. In our tech talk, guys, move on to Enlightenment Hour. Playing Super Mario 64 increases brain health in older adults. Older adults, when was the last time you took place in playing video games with your kids or grandkids even now at this point? Because maybe I'm a middle-aged adult at this point. So, either way, would a study like this may have made my parents more adept at trying video games? I have no idea. Traditionally, my parents, aren't going to play video games. But look at this, still pretty cool, right? So playing Super Mario 64 increases brain health in adults. For older adults, playing video games isn't just a way for older adults to keep in touch with the younger generation. It might also be a way to stay in touch with memory itself. For older adults, playing video games isn't just a way to stay in touch with the younger generation. A new study published in the journal PLOS ONE showed that regularly playing Super Mario 64 for 6 months seemed to improve memory and increase the amount of gray matter in the brains of older adults aged 55 to 75. The findings could someday improve treatment options for cognitive impairment and Alzheimer's disease. In the study, researchers divided 33 participants into 3 groups. One played Super Mario 64, one took online piano lessons, and one served as a control group that did neither activity. The video game and music lessons group completed at least 30 minutes of training for 5 days a week. Some participants completed more training than was required. In fact, 2 participants in the video game group beat Super Mario 64 in the entirety and went on to play Super Mario Galaxy, a similar game. In the paper, the researchers hypothesized that a 3D platform games can boost cognition and memory as well as by serving as something like a mental workout. They referenced past research on young adults that showed how playing Super Mario 64 increased gray matter in the cerebellum. And this new study, however, is the first to explore whether 3D platform games can have similar effects on the neural structures of older adults. Pretty cool, right? But why Mario instead of, say, a racing game? In 3D platform games like Mario, players must familiarize themselves with the virtual world to succeed. They must build cognitive maps of the world as they play, memorizing landmarks and other salient features. These kinds of spatial learning processes take place in the hippocampus, one of several regions of the brain examined in the study. The researchers proposed that playing Super Mario 64 for 6 months would increase the gray matter in several parts of the brain. Hippocampus, the relationship between the hippocampus and the 3D platform games is thought to be driven by the fact that 3D platform games require the use of spatial memory processes to build a cognitive map. In-game environments therefore requires learning that depends on the hippocampus. The cerebellum, because of Super Mario 64's requirement for fine motor coordination, we expected also that the 3D platform training to increase gray matter in the cerebellum. What about the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex? Super Mario 64 requires ample planning and the internal storage and manipulation of in-game information. We therefore predicted that training would increase gray matter in the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. Researchers also suggested video game training would boost cognitive performance among older adults. The results showed that participants who spent 6 months playing Mario experienced improved short-term memory and showed increased gray matter in the cerebellum and hippocampus. Participants who took music lessons showed increased gray matter in the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex and cerebellum. However, the group composed of adults who did neither video game or music training showed atrophy in 3 regions of the brain that the researchers examined. Very interesting, right? And we'll show you guys the pictures of that here in just a second. So the researchers can't say for sure whether it's a 3D platform, video games, or simply learning something new that staves off the degradation of gray matter and memory. One reason is because the size of the study was relatively small, which limits the conclusions that can be reasonably drawn from it. Still, the author of the study, Gregory West, an assistant psychology professor at the University of Montreal, thinks that the results are promising for treatment of cognitive impairment and Alzheimer's disease. Right? Crazy. Good news is that we can reverse those effects and increase volume by learning something new. Games like Super Mario 64, which activate the hippocampus, seem to hold some potential in that respect. Pretty crazy, right? So let me show you guys the control group, the brain. It's the increased matter in the MRI of the video game adult groups. Actually, this is not the control group. Brain matter. For anybody that knows how to read a brain scan, feel free. Let me know what you see. It's still pretty cool. Right? So, even that much more reasoning to get those older adults jumping in on some of these 3D world kind of games. As much as they might hate it, they hate it because it's a mental workout, and the mental workout forces them to have to build some strength there. Or maybe, complacency just lets things kind of get a little idle, and you don't want to be atrophying in any ways, right? So, interesting. Super Mario. Work out the brain. Do what you do. All right, let's talk in our Herbal Wellness Corner, brought to you by High Horse Cannabis Company, guys. Wanted to talk about today CBG and CBGA. So for anybody that has, asked those questions about what the heck is CBG, what is CBGA, why are these even a thing? It's important because, it is the mother molecule. It gets mixed in a lot of different products. And there's reasons behind it, and good reasons to say the least. So, going over that, just want to talk to you guys about the original cannabinoid. That's CBGA and its neutral counterpart, CBG. So, CBGA, cannabigerolic acid, is the precursor cannabinoid that is later converted into THCA, CBDA, or CBCA. Like other cannabinoids, CBGA is decarboxylated into CBG by heat and time, but few cannabis strains have any significant amount of CBGA in the mature flowers. Some strains have been identified that lack the enzyme which converts CBGA into the other cannabinoids, and some growers have discovered techniques of early harvesting common strains to increase the yield of CBGA. Very little research has explored the effects of CBG and even less of CBGA. CBG has low activity at the cannabinoid receptors, stimulates TRPV1, TRPA1, and the A2 adrenergic receptors, and inhibits the uptake of the neurotransmitters serotonin, norepinephrine, and GABA. CBG has also been shown to relieve pain, erythema, and inhibit lipogenesis, enzymes that produce inflammatory molecules more potently than THC. Pretty cool, right? So, you don't see a lot of significant dosing of CBG or CBGA in products, but when you do, it's a good reason to go check them out, guys. We got the triple ones, our 1-to-1-to-1 CBD, THC, CBG. High Horse Cannabis Company, you can absolutely find them online. Shop High Horse, all the best deals in town. Shoot, in the state of New Mexico on cannabis. Premium cannabis strains from Animus Cannabis. Enchanted Botanicals, the absolute top shelf. Indoor, some really good stuff. Farmers Quality concentrates. Guys, are going to be some great sales rolling out in March right now. Farmers Quality, 1 gram for $25. Really good stuff. So go shop High Horse. Go check it all out. Some great 2-gram carts from Dime, as well as Cure Enjoy. So some good stuff. All right, let's point over to our community spotlight tonight. Literacy night starting, I believe right now, food trucks from 5:30 to 7:30 over at University Hills Elementary. Join us as we celebrate literacy activities from 6 to 7 p.m. Food truck student council will be holding a book exchange, literacy games, storytelling, tent reading, bookmark making, literacy crafts, book exchange. Southern New Mexico Diabetes is going to be there. The Brannigan Library. Pretty cool performances by second, third grade. Miss Lopman's class, 5th grade is 7 p.m. Go and support your local communities. Get out there, enjoy. Good stuff. Let me get that on the screen. I apologize. There we go. Shabam, University Hills, Literacy Night. Tonight, right now. Go on down. Last, Men's Health Minute, talking about men's Mayo Clinic Q&A. Pay attention to symptoms for good men's health. So what does that mean? Want to look at the most common symptoms or issues affecting men's health? Let's look. Symptoms, things that happen that you have to probably get checked out. The need to urinate often can signal prostate or bladder problems or even diabetes. Painful or otherwise difficult urination should be followed up on. Obviously, erectile dysfunction, which we know could be possibly an early sign of heart trouble. Definitely worth the time to get a cardiac screening done. Testicular exams, good time to look for anything that's not supposed to be there, right? Talking about lumps. Musculoskeletal health, guys. Talking about exercise. Is there more aches and pains than usual? Is it taking longer to recover from injuries? Could you be having musculoskeletal issues such as muscle wasting and inflammatory issues going on? Get screened for things like psoriatic arthritis, rheumatic diseases, osteoarthritis. Points to look at. Right? If you go to the doctor, respiratory health. Do you have chronic cough? Could you have adult onset asthma that happens later in life? Are we looking at things during the windy season as it really starts to pick up? Asthmatics, have you had your pneumonia shots? Is everything under control as far as your asthma management? How is that looking? Are you using the rescue inhaler more than twice per week? Because if you are, you've got an issue. You've got an uncontrolled asthma. So we got to get that taken care of, right? So lots of things there. Other things, guys, snoring or stopping breathing during the night could be sleep apnea. Lack of sleep could be a lot of issues, such as higher blood pressure, anxiety, depression, increased appetite, diabetes, weight gain, just having a kid, whatever it may be, right? So either way, definitely got to make sure at sleep hygiene and get those things addressed. If you're not able to sleep, got to find a way to figure it out. Can't bypass the body's best mechanism to recover and rest, right? Ear, nose, and throat, tinnitus, ringing in the ears, hearing, better in one ear than the other. Ear pain, those could be common. Men with sore throats, especially smokers, don't get those checked out, right? Definitely can be treating early detection for head and neck cancers, right? You'd say it, those who are using tobacco, those who are dipping, right? Those who have been doing it for a really long time. If you're in that age of 45, 50, definitely got to be getting screened for those kinds of things. Other things, nasal polyps could happen, unexplained causing chronic congestion. You could have GERD, right? feeling of always needing to throw up, right? Or something caught in your throat, issue, other things, mental health, are you able to process the world around you efficiently? Do you know how that works for you, how it affects those around you? A lot of things going on. Worth talking to the doctors, so many different intervention points, guys. And that's going to be it for our Men's Health Minute tonight. That's it for me, Dr. Joaquin. I'll be at P&Z tonight. Hope everybody has a great night.